touch back that one. Stomach on there. There you go. You know where I'm right now. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. We're live now. See everybody gets in here. See if everybody notices that we're here. See the chat. Hey, everybody. Let's say hey. If you're here, let me know you're here so I know I can start. Hey, Trisha's here. I'm here. Hey, Trisha's here. I'm here. See if we get anybody else coming in.
Lisa's here.
Hey, Lisa. All right. Well, I guess we'll start with this. Um, Let me see. Make sure everybody knows. Today we're going to talk about.
Tina's here.
Hey, Tina. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Make sure you like the stream. I know it's not much yet, but right now we're gonna. I don't have a hat on. Just got out of the shower. It's raining out. Can't be outside, so we're cooped up in Jack's room because it's the smallest room we had to, do this in, make it nice and neat. Today we're going to talk about preparing for a homestead on a budget. What we've learned so far, what we plan on doing. Obviously, you know a lot about our plans, but I mean things we like the things we want to buy compared to what conventional pricing is. Like I talked about last time, there's some things where if you look, you can find things cheaper than what you would imagine. Like I said, we bought that. Anybody that's seen the canopy video, that's a $250 canopy we got for $70 on clearance. Lots of ways to do that. The biggest thing people have a problem with is money. Everybody that I've talked to, I could name 1,000 people right now that are bringing it up. To say, you tell me you're going to do this, and they all want to know how you plan on doing it, how you plan on doing it, money. Yes, money rules the world, unfortunately. The problem is if you're smart and you take your time and look, you can find ways to get around all that fun stuff. So today we ordered a 2-burner stove. I'll show the camera. I have OBS. I was going to put it on there because we are going to do a reaction to some TikToks and viral homesteading clips. But until I make sure of the copyright, I want to make sure that I'm not going to get in trouble for that. So I'll show you a picture from my phone of what we ordered. It's a 2-burner stove. I don't know how well you can see that with the light. It's on legs. It has 2 burners, run by propane with tabletop. Okay. You go to Walmart or you go to a sporting goods store or Amazon, Walmart, whatever. Yeah, you can find them for $150, $200. They're expensive. It's an essential item you need when you first get there. We're not going to have, we're not walking into a house that's going to be up to us to build and prepare and figure out. So, yeah, that's one of the things that we bought because that's going to be essential. We paid $89 for it.
Yep.
$89 for it, and then again, you just hook a tank of propane up to it, and you're good to go.
Alex.
Yeah, hey Alex. Say hi to Ian. He's on. Jason's on. Jason's your cousin Alex. I know you guys haven't met yet. Prepared for it. How you doing? Thank you. Prepared for. Again, we're talking about things that we're preparing for our homestead on a budget. What we bought. I'm talking about a 2-burner propane stove. Propane's cheap. You get a tank. Yeah, you pay $64 for the tank, but it only costs you $25 to fill up.
What up, Ian?
You know, what's up, Ian? Say hi to Alex. He's on. So it's a lot cheaper to do that than gas. Like the generator we want to get is like $450. It's a dual fuel. We're going to run it on propane because gas will gum up a carburetor. Propane won't. Gas you can't only store for 6 months without it going bad. Propane you can store a tank of propane for 20 years and it'll always be good. And it only costs $24 to fill up a 3-pound tank that'll run a propane generator for 14 hours. A gas generator, you know, only holds 2 gallons of gas, so you're constantly filling it, and whatnot. The other thing we bought today is I don't know if you'll be able to tell from here. It's a mini. Oh, wrong way. The light is bad in here. I'm sorry.
Go that way. Yep.
The light in here is bad. It's a mini chainsaw, a battery operated mini chainsaw with 2 batteries, and we paid. What did we pay for that? $30.
$30.
Yeah, $29.89 on that was on Walmart.com. I'll be having videos with those when they come in the mail. Here, you can read the chat from here.
Yeah.
I don't know where yours is at, but they'll be coming in the mail. I'll be doing a video on those once they come.
Everybody throw up a hey Odin in the chat.
Oh yeah, don't forget kerosene too, Lisa. Yeah, you're right. You got the heaters for when it gets cold. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do to. Hey Odin. Oh, and we also bought for showering when we first get there. You know, obviously you don't have a house, you don't have a shower. So it's this thing. It's a portable shower. Okay, what it is I'll show you again. Let me turn it this way so you get a better view of it.
Move it.
Oh. Trish, you're touching things.
I'm not touching things. There you go.
Okay, so what it is, it's a 5-gallon water tank that has a hose that connects to it, and it has, you can't really tell there, but there's two batteries to it. It's electric. And then you buy, it's called a heat immersion. It's a heater it's a little stick heater. I'll show you that too. It's a little stick heater. I paid what would they $60 for that tank?
$60, yeah. Lay down.
Yeah, and what you do is stick it down in there and you plug it in, and it heats up the water for you. If I can find it here, hold on. No, I don't want that. Odin's going crazy, guys, because it was raining and thundering, and anybody knows Odin, he knows he doesn't like rain and thunder. And this is what they call immersion water heater. Okay, let me scroll up here. You plug it in, and then you drop it into your tank. Sorry, it's a little blurry there. You drop it into your tank. Get a full picture up there. That's the bottom. That's the top. You put it in your water, and it goes in the water, and you plug it in, 1,500 watts, and it heats up your water for you. And then you have, warm water to shower with. And then we are buying. That's $25. I'm sorry, I'm talking about a budget here. That's only $25. So altogether, you get a 5-gallon with an electric sprayer with 2 batteries that recharge. You can plug into your solar generator, your propane generator, whatnot. And then they sell these also. We're buying. It's a. I hate when it flips over. Sorry, guys. Let me get it on here. Right, I'm having lots of technical difficulties today. I apologize. It's a shower tent where you hang up your shower in there, and it's vented at the bottom. It has a mat at the bottom of it, and then it's open so far this way. It's mesh, like the mat's here, and then it's mesh about 3 inches up, so the water will run out. and you have your privacy until you build a full shower in your bathroom. You know, until you get a bath. Lots of things we talked about. Chicken, like a pound of chicken and a bowl of rice for 14. You talking about Chinese? Yeah.
Lisa said, "Stop flipping it, Jeff."
Oh, I'm sorry. You know, just trying to make sure everybody can see good picture of what it is. We also found these they're 16-ounce steel cups. You know, the ones you have the lid on and make sure keep your coffee hot. Speaking of coffee, let's go Steelers Sunday, baby.
Just in case everybody has no idea what Jason's talking about, Jason went to go get Chinese, and he basically face planted.
He wiped out in the mud.
He wiped out. So that's what he's talking about.
He wiped out in the mud. But yeah, like I said, there's lots of different ways to go around, you know, budget items. You know, you got your Coleman stoves that just sit on your table and they're only this big and they want $100. I pay $89 for a 2-burner stovetop
that stands up.
That stands, you know,
up
to my waist.
You don't have to put it on a table.
You know what I mean? And then those, you know, then you got a bunch of little balls of propane that are only $5 a piece. You can get one cook out of it. With this,
what is it? Propane?
Yeah, you can get propane or you can get the
butane.
Butane. There's different types. Butane in the can, which is still like $5 or $6. Get one cook out of it, or I can buy one of these for $90 and hook a 3-pound tank up to it and use that for anybody that grills knows how long a 3-pound tank lasts you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was never graceful. That is so true, Lisa.
You were never graceful. That's for sure, son. You get that from your dad.
Yes.
All you kids, none of you kids are graceful because of me, unfortunately. But you know, that's a part of the few of the things that we're looking at. Budget wise, like I said, there's lots of things out there. If you look, Amazon, Walmart, clearance items. You know, if you can dream of it, it can be done.
Nothing.
You're a messenger. I need you to chat, buddy.
Okay. My bad.
Oh, you're messaging.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, like there's lots of ways to she's my chat guy, you know what I mean? I don't want to keep leaning up and looking all stupid trying to read. You bounce back like this punching bag, Jason. Yeah. But there's a lot of different ways that you can go around budget items that aren't everybody always thinks budget means cheap junk Dollar General or, you know, Family Dollar Tree. You can get a lot of items from Family Dollar and Dollar Tree.
We've been watching a lot of YouTube videos.
Candles. If you want to like candles, like people, you know, they say you're prepper. You don't want to live off grid, but you know, you want to, you know, have in case your power goes out, you need candles. Buy a can of Crisco.
Stick a wick in it.
Stick your candle down, cut your candle to fit the can, put your candle down in it. It'll burn for 72 hours that way. That candle will burn for 72 hours in that can of Crisco. It's crazy the things that you paid $1.25 for it.
Cheyenne's on. She's watching it from her TV.
Oh, hey, Cheyenne.
That's why she couldn't.
Thanks for stopping by, baby. Hope you're doing better. How was work? That's right. You can't call, man. I'm sorry. If everybody can throw a like up on there for me, please, I would really appreciate that. And anybody that's new, hit that subscribe button.
Jason said hi, Shy.
It's the truth, buddy. Listen, there's always a way to do things on a budget. People always think that everything costs so much money. You know, you're going to be buying land. You know, you're going to be in $200,000-$300,000 just for the land. Yeah, you can do that. A lot of people, what they do is, you know, they sell their house when they want to, you know, do something like this, and then they put that money down. Well, we don't have that option, so we have to do it on a budget. So I've been a survivor all my life. You know what I mean? I grew up a survivor. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a survivor. Ian, you've been there. You know, Trish, you know. Tina, you know. Lisa, you've heard the stories. You've been a survivor. I know how to survive. Listen, you know, I was taught in the military how to survive. I lived on the streets, lived in the woods, done it all. You know.
That is so true. He's larger than life, Lisa.
That's just
She
me.
said you're on a bigger screen. She can see you larger.
Yeah, but there's always a way to do it. It's just finding that way and taking the time to figure it out. Like chainsaw, okay, for instance, obviously going to need a chainsaw. You're clearing land. Um,
That's my chainsaw, by the way,
that's Trish, the small
because
one.
it's tiny. It's mine.
Yeah, the tiny one is Trish's chainsaw. But those are good for, obviously, everybody's like, well, why do you want a tiny chainsaw? You don't want to be using a 40cc, a 45cc chainsaw for little 2-inch, 3-inch trees and tearing, using your blade and oil and gas for these little trees or tree branches or anything up to 3 inches that'll cut. A chainsaw. Everybody knows you buy a chainsaw, you're looking at $300-$400 for a decent chainsaw. But I'm gonna put you all on a website that I truly love. They have everything from camping supplies to hell. Ian and Brittany, a lot of the cup supplies that we bought were from this website. It's called Beaver. Okay. And they have a lot of different stuff on here that you can get. I'll show you a picture of the chainsaw that I want to get. They have a lot of different things that, like I said, are a lot cheaper. They actually have was it 42cc chainsaw?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 42. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get into their site, but I got to agree to all this crap. Right here, 18-inch. It's an 18-inch gasoline chainsaw. Okay, anybody that knows anything about chainsaws, I don't know if I can zoom in on that. There you go. 18-inch, that's a long bar, gasoline chainsaw for $95. I don't know which way am I going here. Can you see that? Yep. That is $95. Okay. You can't beat that. You know what I mean? If you look up Husqvarna, 96, 95, 99. You look up Husqvarna or whatever for a 52cc chainsaw, you're looking at anywhere between $250 and $350 for the exact same thing. I've watched the reviews on it. Obviously, anybody that knows me knows that I'm very, I'm intrigued by learning new things. So I have to pay attention and review it 100 times before I make a decision on something. You know what I mean? Of course, people say there's sponsorships. So, when you do this YouTube thing, you get sponsorships, and you get they pay you to review their item, or they give you an item of high price and ask you to review it, and you get the item for free. So a lot of YouTube videos, people are reviewing them and they're getting paid to review it. So of course they're going to give a good review because they want the products, they want more products from them, they want paid from them, whatever. But if you really look, there's a lot of them that are just average people like me and you that are making these videos and giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly on all these things. You can ask Trish. If I find something on Amazon, I find something on Amazon, Walmart, wherever. First thing I do is check to see if there's a YouTube video on it, and I'll watch that YouTube. If there's 100 YouTube videos, I'm watching 75 of them, because you can't just take one person's comments because they could be sponsored. They could just be giving good reviews because they're supposed to. So, from shower tents to chainsaws. But Beaver has it all. Let me tell you, you can find it on Beaver. You can't find it on Beaver. You can't find it anywhere. That's where we got your cup press that she has for, what was it, like $100. You know what I mean? For making cups. Yeah, I know you have to do the same thing, buddy. You have to learn. Like, you know what I mean? Nowadays, there's so much junk out there in that budget area. Even when you pay high price, people always think, if it costs more, it's better. It's going to last longer. That's not true. I can go out right now and buy a $1,000 car that lasts longer than your brand new car you just paid $40,000 for off the lot. They made things different back then. They make things different now. You got to pay attention to what you're buying. You know what I mean? You could pay $500 for something and you could get it for $100, and the $100 one be, have for 20 years, and the $500 one lasts you 6 months or a year. We looked into, like I said, a lot of different items. I mean, we're gonna get into some of them more. We're gonna, I can get into toilets. I can get into all that. That'll be another video someday because, we'll have people that want to hear about that on how you do that. Composting. You could do a lot of things with composting. Saves a lot of money. You can build with trees. Everybody's like, well, you need lumber. Well, actually, Beaver has it's called a chainsaw mill, which is a big thing that hooks to your chainsaw, and you dial it into what height you want it, what length you want it, and you can mill your own boards out of logs, out of trees you just cut down. You go to Lowe's, whatever, a 2x4 is what, like $10?
A 2x4 is close to $10 now, yeah.
You know what I mean? I can make 3 2x4s out of one of the trees I just cut off my property. I'm clearing land. I need that spot for, one of the houses, one of the kids coming down, or a shop, or whatever we're doing, a shed, for one of the animals or whatever. And I can make 3 2x4s out of a nice sized tree, not very big. You know what I mean? That I cut down to clear. You know what I mean? And what's going to happen to them? Either going to use it for firewood, or it's going to get chopped up and burned anyway, one way or the other. Either you're going to use it for fuel, or you're just going to burn it to get out of the way.
Manufacturers these days, they don't make things like they used to. They make them to sell them. They don't make them to last.
Right. They're meant to be broken so you buy more. That's how they make their money. You taught me this a long time ago. Supply and demand. The more demand, the more the supply. The more the demand, the worse the product's going to be, because more people that are buying it, they're making it even faster, and they're making it even cheaper because they want it to break. So not only are the new people buying it, but the people that bought one before, like, oh, I want that too because everybody else is buying it. Unfortunately, we live in a world today to where everybody follows trends. If you go TikTok, YouTube, anywhere you go, you hit the button that says trends, trending. If you're trending, you're a big deal, because everything in life that we've grown up with is a trend. The way you wear your clothes, the shoes you wear, the style your haircut is. If you get a perm like Ian, what's the name of? Oh, I go to, I get a lot from Beaver.com. They want to know what site I get from. Beaver.com. A lot on Amazon. Amazon and Walmart.com are huge components to budget. But like I said, when you get on Walmart.com, how they do, they try to offer you down that list, the highest priced, not highest priced items, but some of the higher priced items. Okay, but when you click on one to say you're buying a mini fridge, which is one of the things we're buying, you click on it, and as you scroll down through the page, it tells you all about it, and then it'll offer you like a slide bar of other items that go along with it. You scroll through those, you can find one that's cheaper than the one you got, same size, same everything. If you slide down a little further, there's another slide bar. Sometimes there's even stuff down there that's even cheaper that's on clearance. And you know what I mean? A lot of people don't realize, yes, thank you, Ian. A lot of people don't realize, if you click on there and just go, you think you're just getting product information and information that relates to the product and the size and weight, and you get all that, but then they offer you other items that's in that, section, and sometimes they're even cheaper. And that's how we found the
that's why I'm being a moderator.
Yes, Ian's very good at it. Ian's been doing this for years. Ian's our computer guy. He's our YouTube and streaming guy. He needs to get back to it himself. But they offer you that stuff, and because again, as to the world today, where everything's quick. So you click on the first thing you see that's got a decent price to it, and you order it. No, we can't do that. We can't do that.
We can't afford to do that, is what it is.
We got that canopy. It's $250 canopy. At first, we were willing to pay that. You know what I mean? No doubt. It's like, okay, that's what it is. That's what you got to pay. What are you going to do? We need it for storage, maybe making a kitchen out of it when it's raining. Use it for storage, keep all stuff dry until we get things, put up and put together. Because we plan on going in the beginning of the summer. So it's, we got 3, 4, 5 months. Well, maybe not 5. We got 3 to 4 months that we have time to build, a shelter and, cabin type, you know what I mean? And we talked about that before, which we're going to go with, I think, either a camper at first or like a nice size shed that's the size of my house and just frame it out. But either way, you have to dig. And the more you dig, the more you find. I'm scrolling down through there and I'm like, yo, this one's only $70. Yes, there, a lot of people say, well, there's scams. And it is Walmart.com, so you think you're not going to get scammed. You can get scammed. But what I look for is a seller, their name, and then you can go across and you can see how many reviews they have. If they're brand new, I don't mess with them. Number one. Number two, if they're their own seller, but it says fulfill, it'll say below their name, it'll say fulfilled by Walmart. Okay. So that means that Walmart fulfills that order. Okay. So in turn, you're not getting it from that person, you're getting it from Walmart. So then you're guaranteed to get the right product, or Walmart guarantees that they'll give you your refund back. Now, there's ones on there that are fulfilled by that seller. Some of those can be iffy or not. I mean, again, look through your reviews. Again, I go in, if they have 500 reviews, I go and look at the 1-star reviews, I look at the 2-star reviews, 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star.
Takes a long time.
Some people, and that's why, it's taken us a while to get some of the things that we need, because I take my time and figuring, making sure that this product is legit. If you don't like it, I want to know what the 1-star review is about. If you're just complaining because it didn't, like the one guy, I was buying that stove, he gave it a 1-star review because it didn't come with a cover. Excuse me, this is the world today. They're not giving you nothing for free. You want a cover? You buy a grill, $500 grill. You don't get a cover with it. You got to buy another cover for $100 to cover it. You know what I mean? So he gave it a 1-star review, and what was a 1-star review? It didn't come with a cover to cover, like one of them like grill covers. Come on, brother, $18 on Amazon. Go buy one. You know what I mean? Like, I understand money is money, $1 is $1, but if you can't spend $18 for a cover and you're upset that you just saved that 2-burner stove, you could probably get for anywhere between $175, $180 at a camping store or Amazon, Walmart, whatever, without looking. I bought it for $90. So I saved over half. Okay. And I'm upset that it didn't come with a cover. I saved half my money that everybody else is spending, but it didn't come with a cover, so I'm upset about it. So then you read the 2-star reviews and you're like, okay, well, the knobs are a little stiff. Okay, well, that kind of like, makes you think a little bit. Or, all the parts didn't come when it was supposed to. I understand you having a beef with that, but, you get a return and, have it fixed. I don't see that as being a problem. Now, if I see a review that says it fell apart the first time I used it, or it blew up, or, you know what I mean, they didn't send me the correct item, or it was false advertising, because you see that a lot. Like Temu, what's the other one? A lot of them, Temu, they always trying to send me there, whenever I'm trying to look for these generators and stuff. There are a lot of, overseas, we won't use, ethnicity, we'll just say overseas, sites. They're from over there, and they want to send you there. What's it called? Just so everybody knows. Oh, Shine, is that one of them? I've never, AliExpress. Yeah, a lot of them, what I mean, and a lot of people, get what they ask for from there. You know what I mean? They get their products, and then a lot of people don't. And it takes, just like Temu, it takes 10 years to get, because it's coming from China or wherever overseas.
Alibaba,
yeah, Alibaba is one of them.
That's what Ian just said.
Yeah, well, it's Alibaba, it's AliExpress, Shine, Temu. It takes you 6 months to get it, and you don't even know if you're getting what you're supposed to, what you're paying for.
I ordered something from Temu a long time ago, and it came a year later. I forgot all about it, that I even ordered it.
Right.
And it came a year later.
The thing is there's a lot that you can do if you just take your time.
We ain't got a year.
Well, you know, and it's not like, I mean, take your time, but be resourceful. You know, we're all smart enough to know how to, you know, live on a budget, because ain't no one in my chat got $1 million. I can guarantee you that. Because if you did, you'd be my best friend. I can guarantee you. We'd be buddying up. You'd be coming to stay with me. You know, no, I'm kidding. But you know, we all live on a budget every day.
Sure, you do, Ian.
Yeah, right, Ian. Right. Listen, speaking of Ian, he broke Jackson's TV the other night. Did I tell you about that?
I was on the phone.
Yeah, he was playing Fortnite with Jackson, and he broke Jackson's TV.
Yep, broke Jackson's TV.
Offered to buy Jackson the TV. He said, "Don't worry about it, Jackson. I'll replace it." Guess who replaced it? We did. No, Ian, I'm just playing, buddy. He loves his TV, by the way, Ian. He thinks he's like, it's so big. Again, on a budget. My son broke his TV. You know, we went to Walmart. Obviously, that's where you got. But I checked online all the prices. What, you know, where can I get something he needs right now, because he loves to play his game. You know, especially on rainy days, or he's outside a lot too. He loves to be outside. That's why this land is going to be so good for him, because he'll be out there trying to cut down trees with a butter knife. You know what I mean? Which is all right with me. But he bumped his dresser, knocked his TV down, what have you. So we had to buy him a TV. Well, we found one at Walmart for $88 for a 32-inch. Well, we went in and we, you know, instead of just going right for I said, let's look around. Let's check all the prices. You know, there happened to be a clearance one there, a 43-inch for $118. That's what, $30 more than what we were going to pay for, you know, 43-inch. I can deal with that. You know, it's all about just paying attention and slowing down in life. You know, you got to slow down. You got to just, like I was explaining to Jason today, you want something, you set a goal, you take your time to figure out how you can achieve that goal.
No, we bought him one. He has one. We dropped it off to him yesterday, Lisa, but thank you.
Well, you know, I appreciate that. How big is it? He has a little one in here, because this one in his room here is his mom's TV, but we've been borrowing it for him when he's here. Sorry, guys, I need my coffee. Let's go, Pittsburgh. Come on. Everybody talking shit, but we ain't going to get on that right now.
Thank God I work Sunday. I don't have to watch it.
Yeah, well, I do. I'm be watching tonight's game too, Eagles and Dallas. I can't wait. We won't get on that. That's a whole nother topic for a whole other channel.
Yeah, this isn't. Yeah, this isn't the channel for that.
We'd have Jeff, and we'll have Dad and son, Ian, me and Ian and Jason get on there in Jackson. We could talk football all day, huh, Ian? Are you guys planning to? Yes, we're going to live stream every Thursday between.
Well, it's either every Wednesday or Thursday.
Wednesday or Thursday, yeah, between 6:30 and 7. Between 6 and 7 is usually a good time for us. Depending on the weather, we'll be outside showing you things, and I also have videos of everything I buy, everything that we buy for preparing. We're going to show the video of it. We have the chainsaw coming, like I said. We have the water jug. We have the stove. The stove. We're gonna be we have a tent. We have a tent. We're getting another one because Jackson's mother Tina and Jackson are obviously coming with us. Cheyenne, my daughter, also said she'd like to come, maybe, but you know, one day she says yes, one day she says no. Cheyenne Marie, we're gonna have to wrap her up and steal her. So we're gonna buy another tent. But the tent we have now is a 12-man Ozark Trails cabin tent. We've had it for about 3 years. About 3 years now. We're gonna we're one of these days, I don't know, one of these lives, maybe we'll just do a video on it. Wednesday. We'll probably do a Wednesday. We're gonna pop it up and make sure that it doesn't have any holes in it, or what have you. We also have a screen tent. Yes, which we got at that's another store to go to. Always listen, everybody. I'm telling you right now. Always is the place to go, especially for outdoor gear. A screen tent will cost you, which anybody knows what a screen tent is. You pop it up and it screens the whole way around. So you get a lot of air, you know what I mean, whatever. It keeps the bugs out. We bought a 10x10 screen canopy tent.
For $60.
For $60. You look on Walmart, you look on Amazon, you're looking at 100, anywhere between 100 and 150. For a 10 by 10, probably about 100 to 125, 130. We got it for $60. You go there, they have nice camping chairs, nice camping tables, fishing gear, rugs. We put rugs for inside the tent.
Yeah, outdoor rugs.
Rugs galore. Always is the place to go.
It's
I don't know if everybody has an Ollie's, but I know we do. And if you have one, let me tell you, go hit it up. You know, when I think of Ollie's, I think of, you know, like discount, you know, food, and it's good for, you know, I used to buy water there. You buy energy drinks. Lisa, I'm telling you, you should go check out Ollie's. They sell them energy drinks you guys drink cheaper than Walmart or wherever. But, you know, all my life, I've never really had much. I grew up with nothing, grew up with not much. I tried to give my kids as much as I could. But we've always been on the lower end of a budget, you know what I mean? And like I said, people always wonder how you're going to do this on a budget. You know, use your brain, and determination will take you anywhere you want in life. If you want something bad enough, you can figure out a way to do it, and do it conveniently. Last year, we decided we were going to go camping. We took our tent. You know, we went to a campground. We enjoyed it. Jackson loved it. They had 2 pools, an indoor pool and outdoor pool. We ended up staying there for a month. Ian, Tina, you know, can tell you, they seen the inside of our tent. It looks like a living room. You know what I mean? We lived there for a month. We stayed there for probably a little over a month. We enjoyed it. And that's what sparked this idea of ours that we could do this. You know what I mean? Because we enjoyed it so much, and you know, had such a good time and felt so free there. And guess what? It only cost me, what was it, $34 a night? It was what, $300 a month? No, it was $34 a night. It was what? For 2 weeks, we paid like
$600 and like almost $700
for that was the whole month. I think
for the whole month.
For the whole month, yeah. I mean, it was amazing.
Cheaper to go camping than it is the freaking rent.
Come and get you and take you, huh? You don't have a remote. You don't know where you put it. Oh, he doesn't have a remote for this one either, but that's all right. That's the same size as the ones in here. I appreciate that, Lisa. If something happens, well, I'll definitely borrow it from you. Because Jackson, you know Jackson, he's hard on everything. God love him. Everybody say hi to Jackson. He'll be here this weekend when the supplies we got today, we ordered today, when they come, either they won't be here by this weekend. So next weekend, me and Jackson will sit down and do a video of either not all of them, because I'm going to do video with Trish, but it's hard when she works overnights. The only day she's out of office is Wednesday and Thursdays, and Jackson's here on the weekends. So I'll do a video with some of it with Jackson on the weekend, and then I'll do a video with Trish and some of it during the week. And then we'll do live Wednesday or Thursday. What's that?
The chainsaw is supposed to be here by Saturday.
Okay.
I don't know how much of a...
Yeah, you don't know how much that's going to... That's another thing. They say they're going to come on a certain day, but, you know, and sometimes it's pushed back a day or two, just depending on the shipping. But if there's anything you guys can think of that you want to ask, like...
Yeah, we're up for questions.
I mean... Oh, thank you, Jason. I'm proud. Listen, you make me feel so good. Son, I'm proud to have you as my son and all my kids. I'm so proud of all my kids. Shane, Ian, Dominic's not here tonight, guys. Well, he doesn't really see me when he's working. But his mother told me today he just took the test for the state trooper. He'll know in a week if he got it. I'm proud of him. Shine Marie works every day. Got her own place, her own car. Ian, look, you and Brittany got a CNA. Brittany's going to school to get her CNA. Everybody, Carly's in college. Jason's in college. I couldn't be more proud. Shane, he raises a family for the last 6 years, working his butt off, raising a family, got a house. Listen, all you kids, I'm so proud of all of you. You all,
Okay, don't be doing that. Turn them off.
But, I'm so proud of all my kids, because people that knew me growing up, I didn't have the best, I wasn't the best, took me a while to learn. I was a little hard-headed, if I would say so myself.
Still is.
Anybody that knew me didn't think that, well, your kids ain't going to make nothing themselves because they're going to be just like you. Well, they saw me change. I was man enough to admit when I was wrong to my kids. And as a parent, again, another story for another YouTube channel, but as a parent, you have to admit that you're wrong to your children. They look to you, they look up to you. When a parent hides things from their kids and hides problems and issues and teaches their kids that they're superhuman, they don't understand the real world. I'm not perfect. The only person that was perfect was Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? And I'll never be that. So I want my kids to know I wasn't perfect. I talked about my mistakes and I told them what I would do differently if I could. And this is one of the things that I would have done differently 20 years ago if I could have, if I'd have known better. Like I said, we pay X amount of money for rent. You pay X amount of money. And that's just for the land that we live on here. And we live on not even a hundredth of an acre. You know what I mean? Literally, if I would turn to, my house, the neighbor's house was literally 10 feet away from me on each side. Got a street and 10 foot another house, 10 foot another house. When I could spend that exact same amount of money every month and, within 4 or 5 years, own that land and be mine, do whatever I want with it. And why not? Dig a well. Again, it's not stupid cheap, but it's not expensive. They have this thing. It's called looks like two shovels on a stick. It's a post hole digger, pretty much. But what it is it comes apart, and you add pipe to it as you go. So if you're digging a 60-foot hole, you keep adding pipe. 100-foot hole, you keep adding pipe. And you put your PVC pipe down in there. Once you hit water, drop your well pump down in. You know what I mean? You did it yourself. You saved yourself. That'll cost you probably about $500 or $600 when it'll cost you $8,000 or $9,000 to have it done professionally. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's a lot more work than what I realize now, because just like anything in life, you can realize what it's going to take until you get there. You're like, oh, well, this is more than I even realized. But we're up for it. Listen, you know what I mean? If there's a breath left in me, I'll be out there doing whatever it needs to do, because this is not just for me. This is one of my dreams always. She supports that. All my kids support that. But this is for my kids. This is for my son. This is for Jackson. This is for Ian. This is for Carly, for, Shane, Dominic, everybody. Cheyenne. This is for anybody that wants a simpler life. And by being...
It's going to be overwhelming in the beginning.
Oh, yeah, but that's...
Because there's a lot that needs to be done.
Well, that's why I have so many kids. See, if all you kids came down right away, we'd have like a football team to do all this. You know what I mean? I could have you over here, you over there, you over there, you over there, you over there, you over there. You know what I mean? Listen, think about it. You'd have what, 10? So it'd be 7, 8, 9, Tina 10, and then Brittany, she comes with Ian, hopefully, obviously, 11, and Cheyenne, and she brings like 12. Listen, you can take out 12 trees at a time. Think about that. No, dig 12 holes at a time, Just saying, guys, listen, it's everybody thinks that it costs so much more than what it does. And yes, don't get me wrong, it costs money, and it costs a lot of money. But you can break it down into piece by piece by piece. Spend $400 or $500 here, $600 there. But you could spend $400 or $500, go a month with what you have. 2 months, what you have, save up a little bit, get the next piece. Go 2 months, save up, go to the next piece. We can do that piece by piece, and it takes time. And listen, what do we have in life other than time? Nothing. From the day you were born with nothing but time. It's on how you choose to use that time. And it took me a while to figure this all out, and I researched it, and it sounded crazy. And I thought, I'm just being, crazy. This is, there's no way that we could do this. We come up with this kind of money. And I'll put you on the hill. You're not helping, huh? Yeah.
Well, that's only because of Nicholas.
Right.
If you leave him here, we'll let you down in the community with us.
Right. But it takes time, and it's going to be hard work. Like honestly, it's okay though. What do you have left? Think about it. This is where your ancestors, great great grandparents, great great grandparents. A lot of them, this is where they started at. This is how they started, and I guarantee you, they were happier doing that than we are doing this every day. And that's what matters is your happiness.
Aw. Okay, don't be crying.
Oh, Alex, I'm so proud of you too, buddy. I'm sorry I didn't add you in there. You are one of my kids. You will always be one of my kids, son. We thankfully, I know you and your mother aren't on the best of terms right now, but we won't get into that right now. But you and me spent a lot of time together because during some of the times in my life where I wasn't the best or doing the best, your mother looked out for me. Maybe she wasn't the nicest, what have you. But maybe we didn't get along all the time. But she's my sister, and I love her. But she always opened, her house to me, and me and you spent a lot of time together. And I know, the situations you had in your life. We won't get into, like I said, but you were always like one of my kids. Hell, you and Cheyenne are only 2 weeks apart. The second oldest is only 2 weeks apart. You know what I mean? Like that was crazy. Cheyenne's mother's in the hospital having a baby, and here comes your mom walking through the door. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? She's like, well, you're not doing so good. I think I'm having a baby. And 2 weeks later, she ended up having you know. And we spent a lot of good times together. You will always be a big part of my life. And like I told you before, you are always more than welcome to come. Bring your family. You have that nice, beautiful little baby now, and your fiance, girlfriend, wife. I think you said you were engaged. You guys are always more than welcome to come. Like I said, this isn't just for me. This is something that I want to do for myself, but I want to do for my family. You know what I mean? Anybody that feels like they need to live the simpler life, to get away from all of it. I mean, God forbid something bad would happen, you're in the best place possible. You know what I mean? You have everything you need. You have food, you have water, you have electricity, and there ain't no one around you to come steal your stuff. And if they want to come through there, you're going to see them. You live in a city, you live in a small town, you still got everybody around you that when shit goes to shit, if it goes to shit, excuse my language, everybody, but you're going to have people fighting next door to you for what you got. Guess what? No one's going to know what I got because they don't even know I'm there.
That's the best way to be.
And if they do know that I got it, listen, I'm on 20 acres of land. I'm going to see them coming before, they get to where they need to be. And we'll deal with that then. That way we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, that's for another live.
Because, I mean, we're not essentially preppers. I'm not one of those people who are like, oh, the dollar is going to, explode and we're not going to, or solar flare is going to hit. I don't know, but I'm not one of those people that is going to say, economic failures or, World War III. I just don't know. Listen.
No, we're doing this for us. We're not doing it for no other reason than for us.
Right. And our family, our kids and our family. And we want,
that's what I mean. Us.
Yeah. Anybody that wants a simpler life, you know what I mean? And they want to be a part of it. Listen, I plan on starting with 20 acres, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, but eventually I plan on growing that 20 acres as far as I can go. If there's neighbors next door that there's, I can see that, they own that property, but it's not being used. Find out who it is. Find out how much they want for it. Add that to my, even buy that. Listen, I made a joke. I made a joke. You know what I mean? By the time I'm done, I'll have a whole community. You know what I mean? And that's okay. And no, it's not going to be a cult. And no, it's not going to be David Koresh or no, we're not. No jokes about that. Okay. I've already heard all those jokes. I have 7 kids. Okay. So I'll have a community if just my kids come. All right. And then, you got my nephew, Alex, and then you got his family. You got, my kids' families. And they, what? Which one?
The last one.
You got 2 kids now. I didn't know that. I don't be on Facebook like that. I post what I need to post on there. I'm sorry, but I need to start keeping up with things. Oh wow! Either way, that's amazing, dude. Like, wow, that's crazy. Like, I remember when you was born, man. Wow, that's crazy. You know, I'm proud of you. Like I said, you've been doing you, man. I mean, you've been taking care of your family since I can remember. Once you called me and told me you were living down there in the West End and whatnot. And hell, you had your mama place stay for a while. Like, when she was, needed a place and things weren't going right. Like, that's huge, dude. Like I said, you will always be a part of me, my life, and my family. My kids, all the kids, you're just like one of the kids, bro. They love you. We love you.
I don't know you.
Trish says she don't know you. That's okay. You know what I mean? You're just like one of my kids. You act the same as they do. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. See, that's like Cheyenne and Ian. They're only, they're 24, 22 months apart. Yeah. I know what that feels like, buddy. That's a lot to put on your plate. I'm proud of you that you don't know that, Like I said, all you kids that grew up around that area, around that era, are doing great, and it's amazing. You know, hell, every one of your parents, your mom, Ian, Cheyenne's mom, Jason's mom, Jackson and Dominic's mom, Trish, Shane's mom, we all were young, having babies, and had to grow up with our children. And it took us a while to learn, you know what I mean? And we weren't always the best, you know what I mean? But we tried to do what we can, and we did what we could. Oh, yeah, definitely. You will, but like I say, you're always welcome wherever I'm at. Saying my kids, I'll tell you, my kids will tell you. I tell them all the time, why don't you come stay with me? All these years you're trying to get rid of your kids. You want to get rid of them, and here I am trying to ask them to come back. I know people think I'm crazy. And everybody thinks, this is a big dream and it's a lot of work. What if you get there and you don't like it? That's not an option for me. You get there and you figure out to make it something that you do like. You understand? As American citizens, as adults in the United States of America, we have choices that other people don't have. It's up to us to make what we want out of life. We don't have the government controlling us to an extent. We won't get into that conversation either, but you have the chance to make things what you want to make them to an extent. And if I get there and don't like something, I can change it because it's mine. And I can make it happy. You know what I mean? I can make it what I want it to be. And it'll take time. And being on a budget is rough. Yes, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I don't stress about it. It's so easy. Oh, no, listen. Generators. Did you break it again?
No, I caught the freaking
the
cord to the lamp in it.
Sorry, the door messing up. But it's stressful. It's going to be stressful. But what in life isn't stressful? You tell me one thing that isn't stressful in life, and I'll tell you 10 more things. It's going to take time. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but in the end, it's going to be worth it.
Lisa, don't be giving out my secrets. Not everybody knows I'm crazy.
Everybody knows I'm crazy, but some people think that she's not crazy, but she really is.
Don't be telling everybody, okay?
But
that's our secret.
But being on a budget, people think that there's lots of different ways to live around that, to deal with that, to combat that. It's not only just living on a budget. Okay, yeah, people are like, well, the difference is in a lot of states. Let me tell you about this. This is a little sneak peek into things. States like Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, Missouri, Oklahoma, Alabama. I can go on. There's a bunch of states, but if you
Northeast Oklahoma.
What is it?
Northeast Oklahoma.
Northeast Oklahoma, where your boyfriend lives. Everybody go check it out. It's called Doss Farms. If you want to know what homesteading's about, it took him 5 years to get to where he's at now. And we'll give him a shout out, even though we're a small channel and he's a huge channel. But he grows longhorn cows and chickens and pigs and
go over there and tell them we sent you over to check them out.
Yeah, tell them the country. Yeah. The country called us, sent you over there to check them out. His son has a channel. They're amazing people.
They're amazing.
God fearing. He, Jason, Ian, Cheyenne. Everybody knows Frank, one of my friends. Lisa, you know Frank. He reminds you of Frank. He don't care what anybody thinks. You know what I mean? He says how he thinks, how he feels. If you leave a comment in his comments, and he doesn't get mean and nasty, he'll tell you, "Hey, listen, you don't have to watch if you don't want to," or "Hey, listen, you want to come out here and do it? You can do it. You don't like the way I'm doing it." And that's how I'll be. Everybody knows me. That's how I'll be.
Listen, they're just really down to earth people.
It's called Doss Farms. Well, there's Doss Farms, DOSS, Doss Acres.
That's his brother Kyle.
That's his brother Kyle and his wife. And there's Grandpa Doss, which is his mom and dad. And then there's the one that looks like Jason.
Case,
CASE, Case Doss, DOSS. He has his channel on. They're amazing people. And they've been through some things. He started out leasing two acres from his dad's neighbor, leasing 2 acres of land with 2 cows, and then it turned into a couple more, and then he leased a couple more acres, and then they finally he saved up money and got money together, and then he bought 20 acres, and then God forbid they had their house burnt down on that one. And luckily they got out alive. Thank you, Lord. They're amazing people, and they end up selling that land, and they bought the land they're on now. And he raises longhorns. He has 2 sheep. He has pigs, chickens. How's he say it, Trish?
What?
He says, "God, welcome to Doss Acres."
Oh, he's got.
I got 3 kids.
20 acres.
40 acres.
40 acres. Cows, pigs, chickens. 3 boys, 3 dogs, and his wife.
And a wife.
Now they have 4 dogs.
Yeah, now they have 4 dogs. Yeah.
But yeah,
he has a beautiful, beautiful little farm. He doesn't call it a homestead. He calls it a farmstead or a rancher, which could be any other sort. He has donkeys. He has 3 donkeys.
He's just really awesome. Y'all should just go over and check him out. Tell him we gave him a shout out.
Yeah. We told you to come look. I'll even write it in chat. And I look funny doing this, sorry. His name's Chad. Listen, I'm telling you, he's funny. It's not just about homesteading. It's not just about, cows and animals.
It's about his everyday life.
It's about everyday life for him. And, he works on, he has tractors and all that stuff. He shows you equipment that he shows. And
he just built a 4-board fence.
A Kentucky 4-board fence. Like I said, he's real. He talks about, how much it costs, what they have to wait to do, what they don't have to wait to do, how hard it's been through the years. It's like I said, they're just amazing people. And Doss Acres is another one. Again, that's his brother Kyle. Him and his wife. They have goats, 2 cows, and guineas and chickens. Mm. Guineas, if anybody knows what a guinea is, it's a fowl, which is
that's a bird.
Poultry family, and they lay eggs.
They're awesome people too.
Yeah,
they're really nice, down to earth.
Again, another thing, back to the story here. You need to focus on what you need and what you want. Those are 2 different things. I've been trying to explain that to my kids for many, many, many years. And any of you that are parents out there, I'm sure your parents have said it to you. I'm sure you said it to your kids. There's a difference. Excuse me, my mustache itchy. There's a difference between what you need and a difference between what you want. Okay? So when you're living on a budget like this and doing this on a budget, you need to focus on what you need compared to what you want. And certain things you need and certain things you want, you can get the things you need, and you can work up to the things you want. Like I said, time and effort can get you anything you want in this world. You go in the window. I'm like dying here.
Yeah.
But it's start small. Start off buying the small things first. Okay, like for instance, this generator is going to cost me $450 for one. I need the gas generator, well, the propane generator, and then we're getting the solar generator. They're anywhere between $400 and $500. That's a lot to take out at once. So what we're doing is each pay we put $100 back, buy something that we small, buy a couple small things, and then we put like $100 back into a lock fireproof safe that we have, and then when we reach the amount we need for the generator, that's when we're going to get it. That's going to be one of the things coming up in the next couple of months. We're almost there for have enough for the first generator. What?
I already read that.
But but that's one of the generators in come. Then we'll be buying solar panels. Again, I looked. Your first instinct, is the list they show you is what you have to pick from. Again, I learned how to get it on a budget. I found cheaper solar panels. Okay, so you have Blue Eddy, you got Opus, EcoFlow. Those are some of your main solar generators. They also sell solar panels with that brand. Those brands are like Nike, Adidas. They're expensive solar panels, but they're not even as efficient as the solar panels that I found. Most solar panels are only 85% efficient. So if a solar panel says it's 400, you can get 400 watts on the brightest, sunniest day with no clouds. You're only getting 85% of that 400, which I can't figure that out. Someone in the chat go and figure out 85% of 400. I'm not going to do that right now. The math is, going in my head.
The math ain't mathin'.
The math ain't math, yeah. But so you get say you get 400 watts. The most they're guaranteed is 80%, 85%. Excuse me. These ones that I found, they're not an off brand, but they're a budget brand. They're called Zoop W, ZOUPW, and I can buy the same solar panel that cost me Blue Eddy or EcoFlow for $450 for a 400 watt solar panel. I can get this. I get a 400 watt from them for $200, $250, half the price. But they've been tested, and they test at almost 90%, 91% efficient. So they're even better than the name brands. Those are things but you have to buy the solar panel before you buy solar panels because they have ratings, wattage and amperage. Anybody knows electricity, knows, what I mean? That situation, because they can only take so much amps and watts and whatnot, and so you got to make sure that it'll fit your solar generator you buy and all that happiness. But there's a lot you can do on a budget. Oh, back to what I was saying. So states that have do a lot of homesteading states, a lot of states we're looking into. What happens is I started talking about Chad and Doss Farms. You started saying about that. Coming off track. I apologize, guys. But what happens is if you own I think it's more than 5 acres in some states, more than 10 acres in another, and you have any type of livestock, okay, chickens, pigs, cows, any type of livestock or animal, you apply at the county courthouse. You apply for what they call a farm card, okay, which makes you tax exempt, from any type of animal feed, anything you buy for the farm or homestead, like utility like wood. Say you're building fences, wood, post hole diggers, anything that you go Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever. Food, you buy your dog food, you're tax exempt. You buy wood, you're tax exempt. You buy tools to use for the homestead or farm, ranch, however you want to name it, you're tax exempt. And at the end of the year, you get you're tax exempt so much up to a certain limit on your property taxes and on your federal taxes, state taxes. You know what I mean? I don't believe it's federal. If each state's different. Excuse me, got hiccups. But you get a farm card, and that way when you go to buy your dog food, say you have dogs, Odin. When I go to buy Odin's dog food, I'm tax exempt. So if it's $18.99, that's what I pay, $18.99. I don't pay that tax. When I take him to get his shots or the vet comes in and I get a bill, I don't pay the tax. I'm going to get tires on my truck that I want. I don't pay the tax because it's used for my farm. And that's another way to work out a budget situation. You know what I mean? And a lot of states have different ways to try to save you money. Some states are ending it now, but there's a lot of states that give you federal tax. You're federally tax exempt if you use solar panels for anything. It's called solar exemption. They give you a certain amount off your federal taxes. Being considered a homestead or a farm, there are certain tax exempt situations that you can be in. Like I said, there's lots of ways to make money too. You know what I mean? Like, I've always told my kids this, and the biggest part is, and Trish, you can back me up on this.
What's up, Tim?
Hey, Tim. It costs money to make money.
It does.
So if say you buy 20 chickens for say, and you have to raise them up to be, I think it's like 8 months before you can sell them. So you buy 20 a baby chicks. You buy 20 baby chicks, because chickens are one of the easiest things to raise, other than having to clean up after them. They don't really do too much. You know what I mean? Feed wise, okay. So say a bag of feed costs you $50. That lasts, say, a month. So you say you pay $50 a month for 8 months. So you figure that out. That's 50, 100, 150, 200. That's $400 for 8 months you're going to have these chickens, right? But each one of those chickens you could sell for $75 to $100 a piece after 8 months. Now, you're not going to sell all 20 of them, but say you sell 10 of them. You just made a $600 profit. You know what I mean? And yeah, it takes a little bit of work. It's not easy. You're not going to, nothing in life is easy. If it was easy, they wouldn't call it life, and they sure wouldn't call it work. But that was my problem growing up. I wanted to take the easy way out. And I try to teach my kids there's no such thing as easy. If it's easy, it's wrong. You know what I mean? If it's easy, something's wrong.
Something's going to happen.
Ain't nobody give you nothing for free in life. And if they do, something's wrong. You got to be careful. You know what I mean? Yep. And, that's just the life of it all. And, it starts small. There's different ways. There's different incentives. There's different states have different plans to help, small homesteaders, farmers, ranchers, what have you. Again, DIY, do it yourself over store bought. Sorry, I'm looking to get my subject matter here. Do it yourself if you can over store bought. Like I watch a guy and his wife. They have 3 kids. That one I watch in the mornings.
Mm-hmm.
They just bought 40 acres down in North Carolina. He's from city. He used to be a music producer, had his own music studio, and a rapper. You know what I mean? And he decided one day, he was just going to, I don't know what made him do it, but decided, he wanted a different life, and they just picked up. And he never really used a lot of tools like this in his life. Never. And he just built a shed. And what he did is he cut the small 4-inch trees, made posts out of those trees, peeled the bark off of them, made a roof out of it, with smaller trees, cut them in sections, made a roof out of it, and made a shed out of it to store wood. You can use the things that are on your homestead to build things with until you can get to a point where you can buy the things you need. And you don't realize the earth was given to us as a gift, but we don't realize that anymore. We don't use it as a gift anymore. We take it for granted what we have. Every day, the grass that you walk on is places where you can plant food to survive off of. There's water under there somewhere. If you want to dig far enough, some places, Arizona and all that, but some places it's not as bad. Electricity, the sun gives you electricity. Water, you can do hydro. You can get a water, build a water wheel, which is not very difficult to do. If you live next to a nice flowing stream, you can build a water wheel. Go buy yourself a $200 alternator, hook it up to this water wheel, and take that power from that water wheel and turn it into DC power on your alternator, and go from there. And it's just amazing the things that you could do with what we were given and we take for granted every day. And it's not always about buying. It's not always about spending money. 9 out of 10 times, the biggest thing is going to be the sweat equity. you're going to have to put in the time and the effort, And if you don't want to put in time and effort, then this is probably not the plan for you. And it wasn't a plan for me years ago. I was about trying to do it the easy way, but now, I learned my lesson, and I try to teach my kids that. It takes time, it takes effort. You want things, you got to work for them. It's not going to be today or tomorrow or the next day. Maybe a month from now, where you see what you want to see from that. Another thing is, but a lot of people say, okay, like another topic we were going to talk about, which we'll get on to next time, is 1 acre versus 10 acres, 10 acres versus 20 acres. You can do the same thing on 1 acre as I could do on 20 acres. The difference is the size, right? Okay, obviously, everybody here is smart enough to know, but size matters. If you know, you know. But 1 acre, you just have a smaller plot. So you have a smaller garden. You may only be able to raise 10 chickens and 2 cows. 10 acres, you may be able to, obviously you'll be able to raise more. So you can work with what you got. And there's nothing stopping you from doing it all but yourself. Hold on one second. Where's it at? I can't see your phone. Okay. Okay, either one. But there's a lot of things you can do. So next week's topic, we're not sure what we're going to do next week. For a topic, if anybody has any topics they want to hear about, they want to talk about, anything they want to know, please be free to put it down in the comments. Hey guys, I gotta go. All right, good night, buddy. I'm getting off too. Love you too. But put it down in the comments. Anything you want to know, anything you're curious about, anything you think we haven't covered yet, or a topic you'd like to hear about. One of these days coming up, once I find out it's a little quirky on YouTube because of the copyright laws, I don't need to be getting strikes already. I'm going to do review some of the smaller homesteaders, viral and trending homesteads, shorts and TikToks. That's one of the things we're going to be doing in the next couple months. Another one is going to be going over land with you guys, showing you. I'll put it on screen, I have OBS studio set up so we can do that. I learned how to do that, Ian. Thank you. Show you what like the difference in all the lands, the prices, the owner financing rates and things like that. Where you can see it firsthand instead of just from our mouth. You know what I mean? Anything you want to add? Are you pretty quiet this week?
I am.
Yeah. It's been a long week. And then it started raining, which made it even longer.
Yeah.
But again, you need the rain to grow things. But again, anything you guys want to know or ask, feel free to drop it in the comments. For those of you that ain't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Everybody hit that like button. Come back next week. We'll be here Wednesday or Thursday. I'll put out a post on Facebook for all of you that are on Facebook with me. If you're not on my Facebook, it's under Jeff Fisher. TikTok, Instagram, same thing. Whatnot. We have a lot of things that we're going to get done. And I'll be posting videos of some of the things that we got coming up as soon as they get here. Some with Trish, some with Jackson. Got to have Jackson on our channel. That's one of our main parts of our channel. Little Jack boy. So, he kind of created our ending for us, so we have to say it every time we get off now because it was perfect. It was out of the blue. That kid, we put him on camera for the first time, and you'd have thought he'd been doing it for 100 years. And he comes up, and I said, all right, we're going to get off now. And he says, what does he say, Trish?
All right, guys. Peace out and have a nice day.
Right. Peace out and have a nice day, everybody. We'll see you next time. Be looking for them videos.